Recently, I had my Instagram account disabled, and I really don't know why, because I didn't do anything wrong, or at least I don't think I did. But I was telling my family about this, and my daughter said that she knows quite a few people that had that happen to them. It's pretty common, and I asked her, do you have friends that had their Instagram accounts disabled? And she said, no, I'm talking about people that are influencers on YouTube. The truth is my channel is not that big of a channel, but in this video I'm going to be talking about how to be successful on YouTube, and I'm giving these thoughts as someone who's had some success on YouTube, but also as someone who's just observed how other people have become successful. Now, for those of you who don't know, my channel is dedicated to analysis, reviews, and fun from a Christian nerd's perspective. If that's your kind of thing, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If not, stick around as I cover this topic. Before I get into it, I do want to say that I do love watching YouTube channels that talk about how to be successful on YouTube. Unfortunately, there can be kind of a misunderstanding that results. People think if I do these things, A, B, C, D, I'm going to definitely be successful. But that's not really true. Even if you do all the right things that those channels tell you, you're not necessarily going to be successful. So what I'm doing in this video isn't giving you a key that's definitely going to make you have success, because success is going to be defined in different ways by different people anyway. What this video is going to do is talk about 5 traits to give you the best chance at having success on YouTube and growing a good size audience on this platform. So without further ado, here are the top 5 traits of a successful YouTuber. So why do you watch the videos on YouTube that you watch? It's not because you're trying to help some obscure YouTuber to get a bunch of views on their channel and grow their audience. You watch videos that appeal to you for some reason. That's very important to remember when it comes to YouTube, that the people that are successful, they're creating something that their audience wants or that it needs in a very appealing way, and it draws those people to watch their videos. So one of the most important traits is to have a talent in a certain area. Now, your talent might be in the area of speaking, maybe it's creativity, your ability to produce really nice looking videos, maybe it's your storytelling ability, or your knowledge and expertise in a certain area. There are a lot of different talents that people have, but the point is you do have to have a talent that you bring to the table when you're creating YouTube videos. But even if you have some really good talent, that's still not enough to be successful. A lot of times when people set out to start a YouTube channel, they think that they're going to be spending all their time doing things that they really love and talking about things that they're really passionate about. But in reality, doing YouTube videos means working on a lot of things that you didn't necessarily think you were going to have to work on, and doing a lot of things that you didn't necessarily set out to do, such as learning how to do good video editing. Even learning how to speak into a camera takes time. So you definitely have to be thinking this is going to take hard work. I will say though that there's a really good idea that was brought out by an author that I was reading recently who talked about building a talent stack. That if you have a certain ability in an area, it might be pretty good, but if you can develop skills in different areas, that combination of skills builds a talent stack that sets you apart and makes you better than just the average person. So with YouTube, you have to do a lot of hard work developing that talent stack. But even if you have a lot of talent and you put a lot of work and energy into it, that's still not enough to be successful on YouTube. What a loser this Tim Frisch guy is. You've probably noticed that when it comes to online interaction, people are not always nice. There's a lot of negativity. And that definitely goes with doing YouTube videos. You are going to get negative comments, and sometimes people are going to say some pretty mean things. So you do have to have a thick skin. Now, I advise that you kind of limit your exposure to that negativity. And I know if I'm doing a particularly controversial video, I won't even look at the comment section for a while until I know that I'm ready. But even if you limit your exposure, you're still going to have negative comments that people will say. You're going to see that, and for whatever reason, you can see 100 nice comments, but if you see one negative comment, it can really get you down. So you just got to be ready for that, take it in stride, and know that's part of doing YouTube videos. It's like anything you do publicly. If you are a public figure, you may get a lot of people that say nice things, and I definitely have a lot of people who say nice things, but you're also going to get a lot of critics too. But even if you're talented, hardworking, and thick-skinned, that's still not enough on YouTube. You've also got to have this next trait. When I first started doing YouTube videos, it actually took me like 8 months before I got to 100 subscribers. And I think a lot of people know that doing YouTube takes a long time to have success. You really have to keep at it. I liken it to a long distance race, and I remember years ago I used to run in long distance races, and there were always those people who would start out really fast, but then part way through the race they would lose steam, and I would end up passing those people even though I wasn't a very fast runner. And the same is true with YouTube. There are people who start out great, but they lose steam because they're not pacing themselves. So whatever you do on YouTube, it has to be sustainable for the long haul. If you actually look at successful YouTube channels, a lot of times it might surprise you how long they've been on YouTube before you even notice that their channel was there. And that shows you that a lot of times people doing YouTube videos are actually producing videos in relative obscurity before they become successful. So you have to be willing to put in a lot of time and effort over a very long period of time before you're ever going to see success. And even if you have all of these traits that I'm talking about, it's still not enough to be successful on YouTube unless you have this final trait. I was watching a video on a channel called Veritasium recently, and the person was talking about how they made a viral video and what it takes to make a video that goes viral. He was also talking about the life cycle of a YouTuber and how many people that create videos really get discouraged over time. So it's really important that you have a good strategy because you're putting a lot of work into making videos, and you got to make sure that you do the right thing so that people will see those videos. And that's where those strategy channels that I talked about at the beginning come into play. It's really good to make sure that you learn how to make the most out of what you're doing on YouTube. So part of that is, yes, you do need to have thumbnails that catch people's attention. And sometimes people will criticize me for some of the thumbnails that I create if they're a little bit edgy or clickbaity. But if you're putting all that work in, it's so important that you have a click-through rate that people actually see the work that you're doing. Another thing is making sure that you have good equipment so that your videos look and sound nice. So these are just some of the strategies that you have to have if you're going to have a successful YouTube channel. So as you can tell from looking at these different traits that I've talked about, at the end of the day, it takes a lot of hard work. It is actually a job if you're going to try to grow a large audience. And again, these traits aren't necessarily going to make you successful, but they definitely will help you have the best chance at success and to grow on this platform. I'd love to hear some of your ideas on this topic, so feel free to leave your comments or any questions that you have in the comments section below. But thank you so much for taking some time to listen to some of my thoughts, brought to you from A Frisch Perspective.